These are the youngest parents ever. This is 13-year-old Alfie Patton and 15-year-old Charlotte Steadman. The world was stunned when they had a kid named Maisie at their young age. For many years, Alfie thought he was the father and raised the kid. But a DNA test later proved Alfie was not the father. This is 11-year-old Sean Stewart and 15-year-old Emma Webster. They gave birth to a baby named Ben. The baby was totally healthy, but the young couple later broke up. Nathan Fishburne and April Webster, both 13, gave birth to this boy. Their son, named Jamie, was totally healthy and fine. Tressa Middleton gave birth to her daughter at just 12. She had a bad childhood with many substance issues. When her daughter was born, it was taken from her and raised by adults. But today, Tressa is 21 and is in touch with her daughter. This pregnancy shocked doctors. This is Mariam Nabatanzi from Uganda. She has a world record, which is the most kids ever. At the age of 40, she had 44 kids. Amazingly, she had to raise all of these kids by herself. That's because her husband ran away as the kids were too much, and he even took all of their money. But why does Mariam have 44 kids? Well, believe it or not, she was told she had to. According to doctors, she has a condition called hyperovulation. This makes her incredibly fertile, meaning every time she has a kid, it's never a singular kid. She always has quadruplets, triplets, or twins. Despite all the hardships, Mariam and her kids are incredibly close. One of her kids, named Joseph, even described her as his hero. Most unusual couples in the world. This is Jolison Fernandez Sasilva and his wife Evam Medeiros. They have the biggest height difference of any couple ever. Jaliso is 7 feet 9 inches, but Evam is only 5 feet. Despite the massive height difference, this couple gets on fine. This is Godfrey Baguma and Kate Namanda. People always made fun of Godfrey for his looks. Some even called him the ugliest man in Uganda. But he's been married 3 times, most recently to beauty queen Kate Namanda. Godfrey is also a famous comedian, actor, and rapper. This is Sun Ming Ming and Shi Yan. They are the tallest couple in the world. They're both pro basketball players from China. Sun Min Min is 7 feet and 9 inches tall. Shi Yan is 6 feet and 1 inch, meaning the couple's combined height is 14 feet. Kids you won't believe exist. This is Connie Lloyd. This girl was born with a large tumor on her nose. This made her entire nose into a large red sphere. Only 8 babies had ever been born with this condition. Eventually, Connie's parents found a doctor and the operation went well. Today, Connie lives with a totally normal and healthy nose. This is An Qi from China. He has a massive birthmark on his face. When he got to the age of 6, this birthmark began growing hair, leading to some people in his village calling him a werewolf. His family did not have money to pay for medical treatment, but a local hospital said they would help Anne for free. This is Primrose Austin. When she was born, her parents were stunned by her blue-silver eyes. They put her up for adoption because of this, and in the adoption center, she was called terrible names. Eventually, she was adopted by an American couple. It turned out Primrose was actually blind, but today she lives a happy life with her adopted parents and siblings. This dad put a recording device in his daughter's hair and heard something shocking. This is Thomas Valero. He has a daughter named Emily. Emily was a normal girl with friends. Every day before school, Emily would begin to cry, and she would ask her dad if she could stay at home. Every time Thomas asked what was wrong, Emily would refuse to say. So he took matters into his own hands. Without his daughter knowing, he put a recording device in her hair. When Thomas listened back to the recording, he was absolutely shocked. He heard Emily's teacher bullying the class. Emily's teacher would call her students names and use profanity too. Thomas went to the school and demanded the teacher be fired, but they said no. So instead, Thomas took this to the media. Eventually, a petition was made and the teacher was finally fired. Most unusual couples in the world. This man named Lu Yi married himself. On New Year's Day 2007, he proposed to himself. Unsurprisingly, he said yes, and he had a full wedding with a cardboard cutout of himself. Akihiko Kondo from Japan married an anime character. He bought a hologram of the anime character and then a doll as well, and eventually he married the doll. 39 of his family members and friends came to the wedding. Lee Jing-jae from Korea married a pillow. He takes the pillow on dates to malls and amusement parks. They got married a few years back and they're still living happily to this day. People who are 1 in a million. This is Jyoti Amji from India. She may look like a small kid, but she's 28 years old. She is the smallest woman in the world, measuring at only 2 feet. She is now a famous actress in India. This is Jeff Dabe from the United States. He has the world's biggest hands. He can crush a can easily. He's also a professional arm wrestler too. This is Anastasia Pekreshchuk from Ukraine. She spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on having the world's biggest cheeks, but she says they're still not big enough. Looking at old photos of her, you can see just how much she's changed. This is Sultan Kozan. He's a farmer from Turkey, but he's also the world's tallest man. He's a massive 8 feet and 2 inches tall, and a few years back he even met the world's smallest man. This is why women in China pay for fake boyfriends. If you are 27 and not married as a woman in China, you will be called Sheng Nu. This means leftover woman. Sheng Nu are rich and successful women who have good careers, but don't have a husband. Oftentimes, their parents are very pushy and try to get them to marry as young as possible. This is why many women are now paying for fake boyfriends. They spend around $200 a day on these fake boyfriends. They then introduce the guy to their friends and family. That way they can fit in better, and people won't call them Sheng Nu. It's very sad these women have to lie just because of social pressures. And it's not just elderly people who think like this. Even younger women will mock other women by calling them Sheng Nu. Let me know your guys' thoughts on renting a fake boyfriend to impress your friends and family. This woman's legs weigh 240 pounds. This is Mandy Sellars from the UK. She has a thin, size 10 upper body, but she was born with very large legs. Doctors were always baffled by her condition, and over the years her legs grew massive. They weigh 240 pounds or 17 stone. In 2010, she had to have her left leg amputated, but she was shocked when the leg began growing back. Mandy says she is confident and comfortable in her own skin, but her condition does make her life very hard. Just getting out of bed and moving around is a big challenge for Mandy. Do you remember this couple who went viral? Well, this is them now. In 2011, a soldier in Poland named Boris got married to a woman named Eleanor. They had a great and very happy wedding, but their wedding photos soon went viral. Sadly, people made fun of this couple online. At first, they did not like the attention, but sooner or later they realized they should just ignore these people. They knew their bond was so strong that no one could ruin it. And eventually they did not mind if people recognized them in the street. People would ask to take a photo with them. Later on, the couple had a baby boy, and over a decade later they're still together and happily married. Their story shows you should ignore people who are making bad comments online. Focus on what's really important. After all, no one knows you better than yourself.